How's it going, everybody? CJ here, back with another video. We're doing another first thoughts today. This first thought is on Abomination of Llanowar. Remember, if you guys enjoy my content, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like this video, comment down below. Check us out on Patreon. If you're invited to the cards to talk about in this video, buy them through the TCG Player affiliate link that's down below. And we got a giveaway going on, which is also linked down below. And that includes winning this playmat, and I'll even sign it for you. And also, you can join us in a game on Spell Table. And it'll be recorded and put onto the CJDH gameplay series. So that's pretty cool. And let's hop into this. Abomination of Llanowar. This is literally an elf ball. Literally elf ball. It's weird. So, tribal elves. I can't think of much else you can do with this other than tribal elves. So, we're going to first talk about good tribal elf cards. So, we got... right off the bat, the first one is Reese the Exiled. Whenever it attacks each opponent, you gain 1 life for each elf you control, and you can sack an elf to regenerate it. So it's a good way to just gain a lot of life. Because you're going to be playing a lot of elves. Making a lot of tokens. You can throw like Freyalise in here to just pump out Llanowar elves, which is nice. Also, Llanowar elves should be in this deck. Another card, Elvish Archdruid. It's just a solid lord. Marwyn the Nurturer just keeps getting bigger the more elves you play, and she taps for a ton of mana. Imperious Perfect, another good lord. You got Azuri Renegade Leader, which is a good win con. You make a lot of mana, you just pump your dudes, and you swing for lethal. Shaman of the Pack. Enters the battlefield, target opponent loses life equal to the number of elves you control, so that's a good way to drain a lot of life. It's kind of like a Gary, but with elves, and also you don't gain the life, so it's okay. You got Dwynen, Guiltleaf of Dane. That's another elf lord, and also whenever he attacks, you gain 1 life for each attacking elf you control. So another good way to gain a lot of life off elves. Priest of Titania, lots of mana. You got Lies Huntmaster, so you get an elf whenever you play an elf, so it doubles your elves. Joraga Warcaller, good way to make some big elves. Elvish Harbinger, to pick whatever elf you need at any time. You just play it, search up the correct elf you need, and bam, you have that elf. Seems good. Elvish Champion, another lord, but it also gives Forest Walk, which is pretty cool. Whoa, there's a really cool version I didn't even know existed, and hopefully I put that one into the video. It's the Junior Series Europe. This card is sick. The foiling is super cool. But it's also like $170, so that's a little much there. It's a little much. This is a cool card though. Then you got stuff like Wirewood Channeler, another big mana elf, and Gnarlroot Trapper, which is a pretty cool elf card because it's a 1 mana that taps for green. It's 1 black that taps for green if you pay a life, and you can use that only to cast elf spells. Seems fine. And then target attacking elf you control gains Death Touch until end of turn. So that makes it more difficult to block your elves, which is cool. So your Abomination of Llanowar could have Death Touch. Not that it's going to matter because this thing's supposed to be very big. And then next category. So one of the ways to make your commander much bigger is by putting elves in your graveyard. So you gotta just self-mill seems like it'd be good in this deck. Mesmeric Orb seems like a sweet card in this deck. It's a great way to mill. It's probably my favorite card when it comes to self-mill. Probably my favorite. Because it's easy to control. You can throw like Basalt Monolith in there to literally control exactly how much you want to mill. Like you can just mill your whole deck with that. And very good. Stinkweed Imp, another good one. You can just continue to dredge it over and over and over again and give yourself a death-touching blocker with flying. Seems solid. You got Nyx Weaver. At the beginning of your turn, you get to mill a couple cards. During each turn, each of your turns, you mill a couple of cards. So that's solid. And Hermit Druid, another one that's very powerful because you can control, you can just make it so you have no basics in the deck and just mill everything and then go nuts. Or you can only have 5 basics in the deck, so you mill about a 5th of your deck every time. It's a very powerful card. And it's very good in these self-mill decks. Next up is stuff to make it so it's impossible to block your commander, because your Abomination of Llanowar is going to get pretty big. you're going to want to make it unblockable. Because it does not have trample or anything, does it? I don't think so. Yeah, it's got vigilance and menace, so it's hard to block, but not impossible. To make it impossible to block, throw in like Whisper Silk Cloak, Trailblazer's Boots, Rogue's Passage. Really easy card to throw into this deck. It just takes up a land slot. And Prowler's Helm. All those good. I mean, Rogue's Passage is definitely an auto-include. The other ones, I would also say are auto-includes. They're very good in the deck. And also I want to talk about like Azoni Thousand-Eyed. Just a good way to make a lot of creatures. It's an elf. And it's based on your graveyard. And it gives you a sack outlet. So you can kind of do the aristocrat-y thing and draw a bunch of cards. Seems good. That seems like a very good include in this deck. So that's what I got for Abomination of Llanowar. Remember, if I miss any cool cards for this deck, comment them down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Check me out on Patreon if you really want to support the channel. You can also, if you want to buy any of these cards I talk about in this video, buy them through the TCG Player affiliate link, and that helps the channel. And we got a giveaway going on. So if you want this playmat, and if you want to play a game with us and CJDH on Spell Table, all you got to do is click like right here, and this giveaway video will tell you exactly how to do so. We will see you guys next time. Peace out, everybody.